Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Wolf with a Pencil, but as you know, you can call me Wolf for short. And today, I have been stuck between doing so many different things and coming up with so many different ideas for the channel, but I didn't know what to choose, so I asked my friend and I gave her all the options that I had. And she says the one that goes well with her, seems more interesting, is my avatar. You guys have probably seen my avatar on my channel before. If you go to my book tour, you'll see it there. But my avatar, basically, as Elsa, what would I look like if I was Elsa? So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and funny enough, I've got the nails to match the actual theme, which is nothing I was thinking of. I also want to say thank you to my mum for giving me these flowers, because it's a little memory and tradition we've kind of always had. Ever since I was little, when it was spring, the flowers would blossom and I always wanted to pick them. And yeah, my mum picked them for me. I might be doing a video on that later on memories. So that might even become a series of just memories. So thank you, mum. Love you. Anyway, let's get to it. Hey there, it's Wolf from the future. Well, kind of. Wolf from the future from this video anyways. Don't mind my monotone voice. I'm very sorry. It is currently 4:15 a.m. in the morning and I have nothing better to do with my time than to voice over this because, there's some stuff I wanted to talk about to do with the theme of this video. So also, thank you to my friend who helped me decide on which idea I wanted to put forward for the video, because I literally had so many different ideas, I didn't know which one to go with, and also I had trouble coming up with some things as well. So thank you to her. And also, just a heads up for you, in this video I will be cutting it down a lot just because of the time limit I have on the software that I use to create my videos, and it's not that long. I literally have 55 minutes, which never used to be there before, but I don't really have a storage card yet, so that's what I've got to do. And I also had a lot of other distractions going on, like my friends texting me every so often, so yeah. Anyway, so you've probably seen the new Frozen trailer. And I'm really excited for it, actually, considering that Frozen is one of my favorite Disney princess queen films out there, and Elsa is one of two of my favorite Disney royalty people, because I'm not going to say she's a Disney princess because she's not. She's a queen, and I think she's the first Disney queen that went from princess to queen. So yeah, she is definitely my favorite. Her and Princess Tiana are definitely my favorites, and if you could combine those together, that would just be the best thing ever. So I think a lot of people are starting to theorize that Princess Anna might actually get powers herself, because it kind of looks like she does. I'm actually really interested to see what's going to happen in this film, because I've been waiting so long. All the fillers that have been, filling us in, like the Olaf movie that was around 30 minutes long, and then you had, that short film where Elsa was actually had the flu or the cold, surprisingly enough, how ironic. So I'm really interested to see what goes on. It really looks like that she was, she was training for the Olympics. So I'm quite excited about that as well. And also another thing is, I really always wanted to see myself as like a Disney princess, and combined myself kind of like, you know, I have already got my wolf sonar because obviously my name, Wolf. So I wanted to combine that into it, which is why I added the tail, as you can see in the background. And I also add in ears in a few minutes later on. I had a little bit of trouble. Let's move on to the drawing for a second. I did have a little bit of trouble with the body and the face. I thought it looked a bit too stiff at first, but it actually looks relatively okay now that I'm looking at it myself. As you can see there, I'm starting to draw in the ears, because like I said, it's my avatar, and my avatar has ears and a tail, so I had to incorporate that in. So yeah, like I was saying before, going back to the film, I'm really interested to see what they're gonna come up with this time, and what's gonna be in store, because it looks amazing. So yeah, I decided, as a kind of a cheat, going back to drawing now, as kind of a cheat way for me, because I was having trouble with drawing one of the eyes. As you saw like previously, I kind of drew my dreadlocks over it, so that way I didn't have to struggle, and it's kind of a cheat, but it's also an advantage you can have if you know where to put things. So if you're ever struggling with anything, you just need to know where to put things in order to make it look natural. So that's what I did. And you know how everyone is doing those spider sonars and so on? Yes, I have been doing my own spider sonars as well, and when the time comes for my sketchbook, my second sketchbook tour to happen, which shouldn't be too long because I have around 20 pages left in the sketchbook, you will see them. But I have been inspired not just to do spider sonars, but other sonars as well. So I guess this video is like a Disney princess sonar, if that makes any sense, but based on one particular princess. But she's not a princess, she's a queen. So I gave myself the sonar of Elsa, and I also did another one before this. I did because I'm into Marvel and things like that, I gave myself a Ghost Rider sonar as well, persona. So I'm actually really getting into these personas, and it's given me new inspirations, and keeping everything light-hearted, which is nice and fresh and good. Okay, so you see I've added in the patterns already for the dress. I was going to lean something more towards what Elsa had, but at the same time it was quite complex, like all the shimmers and things like that, and I don't have all the tools, or I don't have the accessibility to make my drawing shimmer, so I had to go for something a bit more simple and just add snowflakes all over my dress, which was I don't really like to draw patterns that much. It just becomes a bit too repetitive for me, but it was okay. I didn't want to make it too detailed, because then it would draw away from everything else that's going on in the picture. I was going to do a lot of snowflakes, but I thought if it's going down in a swirly line, because it kind of travels to the side of my leg, that's good enough for me. And just to make it, you know, less is more, but at the same time to make the design itself that much more nicer and prettier. As you saw, I kind of cut the sides open, so like bare skin from like the stomach is showing. I don't know why, I just have a thing for drawing that. Like, you probably saw it in my my OC drawing that I did like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I had the same sort of design. I don't know what it is about it, I just like it. Okay, yeah, I did decide to go back over the eyes because I wanted to make it a bit more Disney related, because, you know, all Disney movies more related to the Disney princesses, they have quite big, engaging eyes, and that's what I wanted to add in. I obviously kept it more to my style than I did trying to copy the Disney style, since this is my own version. I actually have attempted to draw in Disney style before, and it actually did work out quite well for me, but I haven't done it ever since, and that was probably 4 years ago. So, you know, I was just trying to make the eyes that more defined, or the eye, I should say. And I was just going over some things as well. I really liked how I drew my hair in this one. It was quite nice, actually. Quite nice. I actually prefer that drawing over the liner, because after you draw it out and you draw out the liner, you notice that there's less locks than there were before, which is quite confusing, but I just went with it anyway. Okay, as you can see, I'm starting to go in with the eyelashes, and for that, I don't know if I cannot speak English, sorry. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I probably have. I use Uni Pen Fine Line, and they're actually really good. They're quite expensive though. I got a pack of 10 for like $9.99, and that wasn't even in my local art store. That was in like a shopping centre market thing. But even in the my local art store, it probably would have cost a bit more than that. It says on the pen, actually, it's water fade proof and pigment ink, and it also kind of reminds you at the end of the pen to cap after use. So yeah, that's one mistake I made, because I left out my pen one time for probably an hour, and within that hour it dried up a little and it wasn't as good as it was before. So I learnt my lesson with that one, and just make sure you read what's on the pen, I guess, next time. With the liner, I went in with a 0.1, and the facial features I went in with a 0.05. Because I didn't want the lines to be too thick, because that would bring away from all the colour and detail, so I wanted it to be relatively thin. The hand, I have to say, I'm quite proud of, because I'm not one to draw hands that well. So the fact that I drew this with no reference as well, you know, it could have been better, but I actually quite liked how it turned out in the end. So just keep practicing, that's all I have to say right there. Okay, I'm going in with the tail now. I decided to make the tail even bigger just because everything in Disney is actually big, and accentuated. So I gave myself a really big bushy wolf tail. I actually like drawing tails. Don't know why. It just has this characteristic and emotion all by itself. It can convey emotion without you even having to say anything. I think that's why I like tails. I don't know. It's a weird trait for me. Well, not trait for me to have, just a weird thing about me, I guess. That I like tails. Okay, I went in with the hair now. Sorry. Oh. Excuse me for my yawning. Just, tired-ish? I don't know why I went to fix, probably the music I was playing or listening to at the time. I really do like how I drew in the hair. Sometimes I do prefer the line art over the drawing itself, or the colouring afterwards. That's why I always get scared to colour in, because I'm scared I'm going to ruin the entire thing. And when I started to colour, I nearly ruined the face. Oh my god, I nearly ruined the face, and I was so close to just giving up, but I didn't, so I guess that's good, because I'm quite stubborn, so I don't like to give up on things. And if I do, I get really frustrated and I get really annoyed, so. And the fun process is rubbing out everything. See, and this is where I nearly ruined the face with the pro markers.
At Uber, we never stop.
I actually thought I used the wrong skin tone for a second, because I forget with pro markers, when you put it on first off, it's darker. When you leave it to dry for a few seconds, it becomes lighter, so the pigment changes tone, I guess I would say. So for a second I started to second guess myself and thought I was using the wrong skin tone, which I wasn't, which is good. I don't really think about it too much when I'm colouring in the skin with pro markers, because if I just keep the consistency without really lifting off the marker, it won't look all patchy. That's the word I was looking for, patchy. Yeah. So I think after that I just went in and oh yeah, I forgot to do the sides of my skin, so that's what I went to do after I cut the video. I have several different colours of blue, and obviously Elsa, her one is closest to the colour of ice, which is quite light blue, so I obviously decided to go for the lightest blue I had in my Pro Mask collection. I actually really love the pigmentation in this one. It's quite soft, it's like a baby blue. Yeah, it's one of my favourite blues actually. So I use that as almost the base colour for most of the fabric of the dress. And I recently bought these as well, so I knew they weren't going to run out anytime soon, which is amazing. But I suggest saving up before you decide to go ahead and just buy a pack of pro markers, because one pro marker itself costs, and this is for the UK, so people who live elsewhere, if you even watch my videos, but you'll have to calculate this yourself. But for England, pro markers, well, one pro marker costs £2.99 or 90 or 79 or something, and a pack of pro markers costs £17.99. So just saying. And I bought myself two 12 packs of pro markers, and that went up to what, like £38 or something. Just make sure you save up, basically, that's all I'm saying, because you want to be able to still eat and have money after you've spent money on pro markers. With the second blue colour I had before, that one is slightly lighter than the baby blue that I was talking about, and I used that for some of the patterns in the actual dress. Lord, I forgot. 1 second, people. And, oh, excuse me, sorry. Why am I saying excuse me when I drop something? God. I think I'm saying excuse me for my clumsiness, even though you can't really see me being clumsy. Anyway, the second colour I used was 2 different shades of dark blues. And I used those for the patterns, as you see. I just cut straight to it because I was watching how much time I had left and it wasn't a lot, so I had to keep the video to a minimum. I say that, but the video in total ended up being 44 to 45 minutes long, and thank God for time lapse, I am able to cut that down to size. So I went in with a darker shade of brown to do my hair. My hair isn't really that colour. You've probably seen it jump in some of my videos, my really old videos. Oh god, let's not talk about that. My hair is darker than that, but I don't have a colour for that. So I also gave myself blue lipstick because it actually went with everything. Oh, and this is like the part I was looking forward to the most, was actually colouring in the tips of my hair in dark blue. So to give the kind of thing as when me as Elsa, let's just put my feet in her shoes. Yeah, so when I fully become aware of myself and who I am, and not to conceal and, you know, actually embrace the power I have, my hair decides to turn blue at the ends of my locks. I don't know, I just thought it was right. I cut it again, and obviously, as you can see, I coloured the tail and ears in like a golden brownish colour, and at the tips, like I did with the hair, I coloured it in blue. So, oh, and the boots as well, I actually kept the boots white because I wanted just something in the costume per se to be white. So, and I just added blue tint to it, the same blue that I used for the fabric. So yeah, well, I'm going to give you back to the wolf in the video. So yeah, see you next time. Damn, I might have just broken some of it off. Today is the 9th of the 4th, 2019. Okay. And this here is the finished piece of what I would look like if I was Queen Elsa. I just went up with this. I went along with. I just went along with it basically. I didn't really know, you know, how to draw it or how to come out with it, and I just went with my gut instinct, and this is what I came up with. As you can see, my nails kind of match the actual style, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I'm glad you liked this video. Well, I hope you liked this video, I should say. Sorry I had to keep skipping parts. I had a lot of distractions going on and things like that, but I managed to get it done, so there will be a lot of cuts in this video, and I'm sorry for that. But I hope you enjoyed the process of me doing this, and I'll see you next time. So this has been Wolf with a Pencil, and she's howling at the moon, and she is out. Peace.